Hi, I'm Jara from Biodome, and today I'm here to talk to you about a cooking recipe of something that I love. I absolutely love steaks, so I grabbed some beautiful New York strip steaks from the grocery store, and we're going to try something fun with these. We're going to do two different things with them. These will probably come out in separate videos, but I'm going to do a herb infused salt, and we're going to test out the difference between a normal steak with just regular salt and using a Biodome herb infused salt. Right here we have our dried parsley, and then we have coarse sea salt here. So we're going to try out those two different things and do a taste test. We'll give you a comparison, let you know how they come out, and show you how you too can make your very own herb infused salt at home. Let's go ahead and make our infused salt here. So making an infused salt is really easy. All we need to do is use our coarse ground sea salt and some of our fresh dried herb that we have. You can use whatever fresh dried herb you'd like to. We're going to be using fresh dried parsley in this video. So we're going to take and we're just going to add our coarse sea salt into our food processor here. You could use a grinder or something like that if you'd prefer. And then we're going to add about half of that amount of dried parsley in, and I'm just going to eyeball it here. So that looks about good to me for now. We're going to grind this up. Okay, let's check on that. That looks and smells amazing. So you can see here that it's definitely ground up the salt so that it's a bit finer and a bit easier for us to use on our steak. And then we've got our parsley that's nicely done throughout there. So we're going to go ahead, pour that into a bowl, and then that's what we're going to use on our steaks in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get started with these steaks. First thing you want to do for any good steak is you're going to pat them dry. You want to get any and all of that excess moisture off of your steaks so that the salt can really penetrate into the steak, especially since we're going to be using a infused salt. So we really want to see if we can make that infused salt penetrate into the meat and get that strong parsley flavor inside of our steaks. As you can see, we have our infused salt over here on this side with our parsley in it, and then we have our normal salt over here on the other side, and we're going to season each of these steaks with one of these salts, and then we're going to add black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and we're going to tell you which one tastes better at the end of the day, let you know how these infused salts are. Obviously, very easy to make these infused salts. You just have to add your dried herbs into your salt. You could also add some fresh herbs, and they'll stay good for about 3 months, especially if you're using those fresh herbs in there. But let's go ahead and season up these steaks. Make sure you get a nice, generous season or coating on top of your steaks. That's going to make sure that all of the meat gets some good flavor to it. You definitely don't want to skimp because some of your seasoning will come off in the process. Especially since these are nice, thick steaks here. We can see that it's turning green, looks like kind of like a St. Patty's steak. And then we want to make sure that we coat all of our edges as well. And for our normal salt, this is just coarse sea salt that we're using here. You could also use kosher salt. That works quite well as well. But thicker salts will tend to stick to your steak a little bit better and provide for you a little bit better of a crust. Now, just to hit both of these with black pepper. onion powder, and garlic powder. Then we're going to take our steaks and we're going to toss them in an oven or an air fryer at 225 or 250 degrees, depending on what you're looking for out of the steaks, how quickly you want them to be done. But you can see we've got our parsley-infused steak and our non-parsley-infused seasoned steak on the other side. And we're gonna, for this thickness, we'll probably be back in an hour to 2 hours at this point for them to fully cook through to get to a nice medium rare, and then we'll sear them off afterwards. This is called the reverse sear method that we're using. As you can see, we have our two beautiful steaks that came out of the oven. We went low and slow for about an hour, hour and a half, and then we seared them off real high, real fast at the very end of the cook to get a nice crust on the outside. But that's not what you came for. You came to see what these things look like on the inside. And that is a perfect medium rare. Beautiful medium rare on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and try our parsley infused steak and our non-parsley infused steak. Now we're done with our steaks. We got a great medium rare on both of them. So we've got a clean comparison between the two. We have our parsley infused salt one on this side, and we have our normal steak on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and try the normal steak that's not parsley infused, and we'll see how that is. It's nice and tender. I mean, that's just a great steak right there. It's well seasoned. It's got enough salt. It's the right temperature. It's medium rare. It's just fantastic. That's a very solid steak. So let's go ahead and see how the parsley infused one compares. Wow. So I definitely get a strong hit of parsley from the parsley infused steak. It definitely shines through. And I would recommend using herb infused salt. I think it turned out fantastic. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe to our channel to help us grow. And if you're in the South Jersey or Philadelphia area, feel free to swing by our warehouse in Pennsauken and come see the Biodome yourself. Come get some fresh tomatoes, fresh herbs, fresh microgreens. We'd be happy to have you. Keep growing.